What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Don. We are back with another video, and oh my god, Kawhi Leonard is a basketball machine, an unstoppable machine who has figured out the Golden State Warriors, has them at his mercy, and is about to eliminate them forever, and I love it. I love it. I love it. Because it's about time we send these boys from Golden State home. Go home back to the Bay. See you in the Bay, Clay. But guess what? We're not going to the Bay because they were in the Bay yesterday and they got smoked. For a couple of reasons, to be honest. They're not healthy, Golden State. KD is out. Boogie, I don't know what Boogie got, but Boogie is not healthy. Clay, it looks like he's aggravating the injury. And I'll tell you something about that, by the way. Clay needs to be careful, man. There's no reason to force it. And also KD. No reason to force it. This series looked like it's very far away from them right now. And not just from just a player standpoint, just mentally. They just seem very defeated. I was watching to some commentary after the game last night, and a lot of people wanted to talk about how Steph just looked tired. I don't believe in that in NBA. I don't believe in tiredness too much. They're NBA players. They're not tired. Uh, Physically, they're not tired, but I think mentally they are drained. And because Kawhi Leonard he's a very interesting basketball player. Oftentimes most of the time, Kawhi Leonard never says anything when he plays basketball. So trash talk is not one thing that's gonna bother him. I believe he said himself one time that nobody really trash talks him because for a guy that's very quiet, there's no point in trash talking him because he's getting a bucket on you every time. Man is a walking, a man is a walking bucket. You can't stop him. It's very hard to stop a guy like that, and especially on the way the positions are in Toronto. Even their best defender really is Iguodala. Iguodala is their best defender. But the problem is that there's another player who is also very good that Golden State can't guard besides Iguodala. His name is Pascal Siakam. So if Iguodala is already on Siakam, who's really on Kawhi? Which forces them to do a double team, which forces Kawhi to kick it out, which forces Siakam to kick it out again, and who is there in the corner? It's either Danny Green. This time it was actually Ibaka though. But do you get what I'm saying? The dynamic. Wow, I can't speak. The dynamic of the game is so different for Golden State because they don't have KD. It forces them to constantly pick up somebody attacking to the hoop. The thing with KD was that KD always demanded a double team. So a double team on offense leaves you exposed on defense. Constantly, constantly, constantly. And when you say, Don, what do you mean? So, for example, if I'm Kawhi Leonard, right, on offense, and I'm coming down and I know somebody is about to double team me, all I have to do is kick it out. Even if I missed, it still leaves me a man short, essentially, depending on how fast you hustle. And that's another thing. A lot of players in Golden State, they don't really, not really hustling that hard. But you know what I'm saying? The extra man always leaves you a man short, usually. Because these Golden State boys don't look like they want to run like that. It's leaving them a man short a lot of the time, and Toronto is guilty of that too. But it doesn't matter because they won. Offensive rebounds sometimes. In the beginning, it looked like Looney was having a big impact on the game as well. A lot of people were saying, "Oh, well, it's not going to change." Well, in the beginning, it did. In the beginning, in the first quarter, especially, I thought that Kevon Looney had a pretty good game, considering, you know. And it would have been worse with Bogut because Bogut is slow. Bogut and Boogie are slow. Kawhi, especially Kawhi and Siakam are so fast. Golden State doesn't know what to do right now. Draymond Green can talk all he wants to, but the fact of the matter is that you need KD, and KD is not healthy, and KD is not coming. It'd be a mistake. I'm telling you, it'd be a mistake to put in KD next game. I believe it's Monday. It'd be a mistake to put him in. It'd be a mistake if he's not healthy 100%. Why are we forcing the issue? There's no reason at all to force the issue at this time. Yeah, next game Monday 9 o'clock. No reason to force it. So now back to Kawhi Leonard and just how he dominated them, especially starting that third quarter. He all of a sudden he's pulling up consecutive 3 pointers. I think what Kawhi Leonard said is, you know what, I'm gonna take this game and I'm gonna end it here. Because Kawhi Leonard is so interesting that sometimes he'll allow plays to develop, and he'll just kind of watch. He'll watch Lowry. Let's see if Lowry could do something. Can Van Vliet do something? And this is like two or three plays that Kawhi will do this. He'll just defer, and then by the fourth time, he's like, you know what, give me the ball. Boom, boom. 2 3 pointers that brought him right back into the game, and all of a sudden the game totally turned in the third quarter, which is weird because Golden State is usually the team that dominates third quarters. That's how you knew that psychologically there was a mental edge that the Raptors had officially gained control over, especially with a guy like Kawhi Leonard that doesn't say much. I believe it's the most dangerous thing in the world for somebody who is as skilled as him in any sport to not really say anything. I was always a big believer in sports that guys that talk constantly all the time are very prone to making mistakes because they're spending a lot of energy talking. Just in other sports, football, for example, Richard Sherman, even my boy Odell sometimes. Sometimes when you talk a lot in the games, it tends to take your focus away from the actual task at hand, whether it's catching a ball or driving to the basket, getting a rebound. But Kawhi Leonard, he seems so mellow all the time. Nothing bothers him. You can barely boo him. I don't even think he hears it. He doesn't hear it. Because what's scarier is how he's killing you on offense and defense too, for that matter. He's the best player in the NBA. I said it was Giannis at one point, but no way. Not without a shot. Kawhi Leonard is showing people what he is, and it's scary. He can even still go to another level. Kawhi Leonard is. This is not even full Kawhi Leonard. What I saw last night, yeah. So Clay and Steph were the only ones dominating for Golden State. I always like to go through these box scores because the box scores always tells you a lot about the players, the way they play. So for Kawhi, Toronto, he had 36. He could have gone for like 45, easy. But Pascal Siakam, my guy, 19 points. Lowry 10. But remember what we said last video what I wanted Lowry to do? I wanted Lowry to pass the ball more. Lowry doesn't necessarily need to shoot to be a good point guard. And he understood that this game. Because even though last game I believe he had the 20, I prefer him to just distribute and drive because he's very good at that. I'll give him that. Even though basketball IQ sometimes the guy he makes foolish decisions, but if he just plays the role, the team is good enough to really develop around him, and that's why you have Ibaka with a 20-point game today, because the game developed around Ibaka as the second guy really coming off of the screens. That helped him a lot. So if Kawhi set the screen, or anybody for that matter, if Ibaka rolled, Golden State is so small that they didn't have a chance. A lot of times it'd be Steph Curry. It'd be Steph Curry that switched on to Ibaka, and it's over. It's a wrap. We had Danny Green. See, Danny Green had 3 points. That's why Golden State is lucky that the game turned out to be this way because it was still a bad loss. But Danny Green missed a lot of his shots. So imagine if Danny Green made the ones that he made last game. But like we said, I always thought that Danny Green is a very inconsistent player. I've never seen him as a consistent three-point shooter, even in his days with the Spurs, to be honest. So that rounds up pretty much the box scores. Van Vliet with 6 assists. He's a weird player. A lot of people like his grit, his toughness. And against a different team, if this team, Golden State team, was a little bit better, I would actually consider him a liability sometimes. because he makes weird decisions when he dribbles. He tends to dribble into nothing. Um, Even though most of the time it ends up all right for him, I just think that sometimes, just decision wise, he can make a little bit better decisions. But I think he's done good when called upon. So if I switch back and go to Golden State, this is where it really gets interesting. And I know I'm running over the limit, but I thought this was a great game to analyze. That's why I just wanted to get these box scores in. Draymond Green with 10, Curry with 27, Clay with 28, Looney with 10. So see, Looney did have a little bit of an impact. Draymond Green is gonna Draymond. He had 12 and 9, 12 assists, 9 rebounds. So it wasn't like he wasn't doing anything. But offensively is what you really need the help in right now for Golden State, and they weren't getting it. Because it's weird. The two guards, the backcourt, 27, 28 combined. So let's say 40, 48, about 58 points, so which was spread around the rest of the team, the rest of the points. So I really think that you got to take that in consideration, how important KD is. Boogie is not giving you anything right now. So that's why I think this series, it's not over yet, but mentally they seem like they are defeated. Wasn't pretty bad off. I wasn't far off from I told you my box score for last game. I said about 109, 112, something like that. See, so I didn't expect Golden State to have this little amount of points, but they were just defeated after the third quarter. So I think right now. Oh, side note, Quinn Cook didn't have a point, and see how much difference that makes as well, because Quinn Cook is considered really the third guy offensively. Not as much Draymond Green, but Quinn Cook. But Quinn Cook couldn't do it, and that's how you see where the series is headed now. For next game, I give it a score of. I feel like this game might be explosion for the Raptors. 119. Actually, no, not 119. I give it 117. 111. High scoring game. Golden State is not going to go out without a fight, but Kawhi Leonard is going to take him all the way and win this championship, barring any mental mistakes. And especially if KD doesn't play. That's your boy Donnie. Let me know what you guys thought of the game. Analyze it with me. Like, comment, rate, subscribe. Thank you guys always for all the support. I love making these videos. You already know that, man. And I'll see y'all next time. Peace. I'm out.